Minnesota came out with energy, especially early, and you could tell they wanted to speed the game up. But UCLA didn't respond emotionally. They stayed organized and let the game settle instead of forcing quick answers. The composo matters on the road. When you don't rush early, you give yourself time to read what the opponent is actually trying to do. Tempo was the first thing that stood out to me. UCLA never let the game get away from them, even when Minnesota tried to apply pressure. That patience simplified everything. Players weren't guessing or improvising. They were reacting to space and timing that already existed. Defensively, UCLA stayed disciplined the entire night. They didn't gamble or overcommit. They communicated through switches and forced Minnesota into late clock decisions. Minnesota moved ball at times, but they never really found a rhythm. Every possession required effort, and nothing felt comfortable. Interior presence played a big role here, especially in how possessions stayed calm after missed shots. When the interior is stable, the rest of the floor settles. Rebounds are secured, kickouts are cleaner, and the game doesn't turn chaotic. That allowed the perimeter to stay patient. Guards didn't feel pressure to create something out of nothing. This game was really decided in the margins. Screen angles, closeouts, and clock awareness added up possession by possession. UCLA didn't respond to momentum with emotion. They responded with execution and discipline. You could feel the game getting heavier for Minnesota as it went on. So the big question is whether UCLA looked like themselves in this environment. For me, the answer is yes. They were composed, structured, and connected the entire night. That kind of consistency is what defines teams as the season moves forward. We'll see how that identity continues to show up, but this performance reinforced who they are.
Yes. Sergio, full script, based this only. Welcome back to the Sergio and Maria UCLA Women's Basketball Podcast. This show is built around how UCLA wins games, not just the score, not just the box score, but the structure underneath the result. Tonight, we're talking about UCLA's road win against Minnesota. And before we get into details, it's important to say this clearly. This was not a game UCLA won by overwhelming Minnesota early. It wasn't a blowout that started as a blowout. It was a game that stayed controlled from the inside out. UCLA didn't treat early pressure as a threat. They treated it as information. They let the game show itself, and then they adjusted without breaking shape. That's what separates a team that survives road games from a team that controls them. This win didn't come from streak shooting or momentum swings. It came